Hello internets, Jesus loves you. My name's Cody and this is the Christian News Show we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with geeksundergrace.com. See, usually when I take a break from YouTube, my views seem to kind of plummet. And not that my views are anything big anyways, but usually I get about 100 views on a good day. But you guys sharing that last video, liking it, watching it all the way through, all that good stuff, you got the views up to 1,000. So very cool of you guys. It made my day. And from that, we're gonna go to the first story of the day, kind of relating to the last video. We are talking about Joel Osteen. And the reason we are talking about Joel Osteen is because tickets to go see him right now are $850. So, going to see Joel Osteen costs more than my rent. Now, I do think it needs to be pointed out that this is like the highest price you can pay to go see him. There are like nosebleed seats for 18 bucks. But that is just like, that's so crazy. It should be said that this is a viewer requested news story, and so I know a lot of people don't like Joel Osteen. I'm trying to form an opinion around this. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around this because I don't think it's wrong for Christians to be rich. Yet why do I dislike this guy so much? And I think the reason is because of deceit. The guy calls himself a pastor, but he really isn't. And with the church, because of who we are, we need to really emphasize integrity. Say that you are who you are. And I think even some of Joel Osteen's biggest critics will agree that he is a fantastic motivational speaker. Like, once you get in your head that Joel Osteen is a Christian motivational speaker, then it kind of clicks. Because you hear him as a pastor and you're like, that's not correct in any way. How are you a pastor? But if you hear him as a motivational speaker, then you go, oh, I don't think that's exactly what it means there in the Bible, but I do understand what you're trying to say. Also, I keep hearing about how churches should not be tax exempt, and I'm starting to see the atheist point of view a little bit. Like, I definitely don't think all churches should be taxed because a lot of churches would not be around if that was the case. But when you're bringing in $1,000 a seat, I can kind of see where people are coming from when they're like, we can't take any of that money and put it somewhere to good use. But that is a whole nother super controversial topic that we could talk about another day. And then next up, kind of a quick story, but it's something I thought was kind of cool. So this guy in World War II carried around this little prayer book with him wherever he went. And it was in Okinawa, and then apparently he left it in New Zealand, and later on he then passed away. Well, his wife, Patricia DeFinis, has gotten that book back now. She lives in Pennsylvania. This book is 70 years old, and somebody decided to return it to the New Zealand embassy so that it could go to its rightful owner. And I know this doesn't affect Christianity in any way. I mean, it's just a prayer book, but just something really awesome. I mean, some of you guys know, I love history. And from that, final story of the day brings us to Cuba. As some of you may know, not too long ago, Cuba reopened the US Embassy. And I can proudly say that since that has happened, there has been a Christianity boom in Cuba. And I just can't help but think about how obnoxious we are. Like, as soon as the gates open, we're like, you guys, hey, you. Jesus loves you. It's like the first thing that comes out of our mouths. In all seriousness, back in May, Cuba actually lifted their ban on Bibles that they had going on there. And we actually talked about it when it happened, but when this ban was lifted, all sorts of Bibles were donated to Cuba. And I know I have some atheists listening to this going, ugh. But for a lot of people, hearing the message that somebody out there does love them and that they should love others just as much definitely isn't a bad thing. And that being said, question of the day, I know we just kind of touched on it and then I moved on immediately, but now the more I think about it, I want to know what you guys have to say. So, the question is, what do you think about churches being tax exempt? Right now, I've heard a lot of things, but I haven't really processed them into a fully formed opinion. So I want to know what you guys have to say. Do you think that all churches should be tax exempt? Do you think maybe at a certain point they shouldn't be? Do you think that no church should ever be tax exempt? I want to know what you guys have to say. So please leave a comment in the comment section below with your answer. I'm sure you guys have way better responses than I would have. Also, make sure you check out geeksundergrace.com for more geeky content. My name is Cody, bringing Christian news in a not so boring kind of way every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In closing, let the haters hate, let the Christians pray. To everybody like, subscribe. I will see you later, and God bless.